If you like this video, please click on the like button. Comment with the names of the movies you would like us to cover next. Click the subscribe button and press the bell icon to get notified of our latest creations. We cover 100 movies from around the world every day. To advertise with our channel, reach out to us. Our contact information is on our channel page. Now, let's move to the plot of this movie.
In 1940, the entire town of Fryer, 572 people, abandoned their town and walked into the wilderness with only the clothes on their backs after a viewing of The Wizard of Oz, a film with which the entire town was obsessed. No one has ever been able to explain why they did this. Only 300 of the townspeople's bodies were recovered. Some had frozen to death in the elements, while others were killed in horrific and bloody ways. The remaining 272 citizens were never found, and the government designated the trail that the townspeople took as classified. Despite this, the town was eventually repopulated. Although the townspeople are cautious of the town's history, in the present day, the trail's coordinates have been declassified, and a film crew has arrived to travel the trail to learn about the disappearances and deaths, as well as what lies at the end of the trail. Crew leader Teddy found the trail's coordinates via Fryer's movie theater. The crew, including Teddy's wife Melissa, their collaborator Walter, sibling cartographers Daryl and Erin Luger, forestry expert Cy, and intern Jill, soon befriends Liv, a townsperson who works at the theater and agrees to accompany them on their trip. Quote, "The journey goes well initially, but soon the crew is terrorized by loud and jarring music that appears to come out of nowhere. Daryl brutally murders his sister Erin over a petty argument and flees. Teddy and Cy locate and subdue him, and return him to the group. Now calm, he explains to Teddy that the land is like liquid, and declares that he and Erin managed to determine the coordinates of the end of the road, the source of the music. Single quote. Ultimately the crew reverses direction, battered by deafening feedback, but discover Erin's body dressed like a scarecrow, propped up in a grotesque diorama, and a massive deadfall which Teddy attempts to climb. While Cy is distracted, Daryl steals his machete, frees himself, and flees again with the only vehicle and food supply. The group realizes that they are still traveling north, and are no closer to home than before. Quote, Cy refuses to travel south with the others and becomes aggressive, kidnapping Liv at knife point in hopes that he can cross over into Vermont and save her life. Teddy and Melissa have sex that same night, but he abandons her before dawn to climb the deadfall and solve the mystery of Fryer, leaving only Melissa, Walter, and Jill. Single quote. After miles of walking west alone, Liv and Cy consume hallucinogenic berries, and in a moment of clarity, Cy reveals to Liv that he has been thinking about doing unspeakable things to her for hours. He recommends that she bind and kill him before he can do so. Once tied up, he has second thoughts, but despite his pleas, she breaks his neck. Single quote. Overnight, Jill eats the remaining food. When she attempts to apologize the next morning, she is ignored, and immediately walks off a cliff to her death. Walter, preferring to die sane and at peace, commits suicide on camera. Upon viewing the video, Melissa is attacked by Daryl, and he chases her down, killing her with Cy's machete. Liv, high and delusional, finds Daryl and stabs him in the neck with a pocket knife. She then lies down in the grass and continues to consume the poisonous berries. Quote, a weary and visibly shaken Teddy crawls to the final portion of the trail, where the music finally stops. He finds himself at what appears to be the theater from the beginning of the film. There he meets a sinister usher who forces him to sit in a theater empty except for a brief glimpse of smiling theatergoers implied to be the spirits of the dead townspeople. On the screen is footage of his wife, who has been transported by the usher into a hellish landscape. Horrified, Teddy begins to scream. Single quote,